Ooh, child. Girl.
Look at us back on the couch.
It's been a few days. We're back here on
yesterday.
No, it was the day before yesterday.
Oh. I forgot. I was like, it was just yesterday. Hi.
Excuse me.
Sweet.
Ooh.
Get you a little
Listen.
sweet. I'll do the intro while you do that.
Hi.
Hello, everybody. Woo. Welcome on back. So we are back to give you yet some more information. Last time we were here with you guys, we let you guys know how Candy just hijacked my apartment, girl, and came and just brought her 16 boxes and 18 suitcases and just moved in and kicked my cats out. And so now here we are, you know, because that's just what she had done. And I said, okay, girl, let's go. So that's so that's where we left you guys. And then I told you guys that once we were, you know, now in cohabitation, she was like, you know what? It's time to make a change. Girl, another change.
As my therapist says, that's one perspective. That's one perspective. That's one perspective. So as the girls gather on the couch, girl, let me see, girl, as the girls come in and gather and take their seat on the couch between us, that may be one perspective. Another perspective, girl, is that I saw a need. You were the need.
I was the need.
You were the need.
Okay.
I saw a need and I felt like I had been called to come in your life and make a difference.
Okay.
You should thank me.
Oh,
especially for what's about to happen.
So that was the other perspective. I see.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
What's about to happen. You see how I took you and I moved you up. I elevated you. You know, I found you over there in that little place. And I said, you know, Chaun, you deserve so much more in life. And I dusted you off. And I cleaned you up.
Okay.
Look at you now, girl. Have you ever done it before? And I said, girl, look at you now, girl. You know, and I clean, you know, and I got you together. And I said, girl, I'm going to give you a life that you only dreamed about.
Also, by this time, I had gotten a car.
That was order of the day.
Yeah, I had now had my own vehicle.
Yes, you had your little piece of car.
The piece of car. The
bucket.
You had
your little piece of car. So at this point, I had come to you and I said, look, Chaun, this little apartment. Yeah, you know, it was cute for you and Ashley. Mm-hmm. I've been here a few months, and now your lease is coming due.
My lease is coming due.
You know, your lease is coming due. Mm-hmm. So I said, girl, let's why don't we put everything in a box? Leave some stuff here, and we'll put everything that's reasonable and prudent in a box. Mm-hmm. And we will skedaddle down the road and see if we can do better for ourselves.
Okay. You know,
you remember me coming to you?
I do remember that, and I do remember you having this nice place that we should consider, and that we should move into and move back, you know, to Bloomington, because there was really nothing in Peoria for us.
So we moved back to Bloomington. Mm-hmm. We moved back to Bloomington. That's the college town.
Yeah, but
that's also the place where a lot of people who work for State Farm. State Farm was the big corporate business there. Mm-hmm. I was working for State Farm. I was in a very entry-level position at the time. Mm-hmm. But so I had started working for State Farm, and we were doing a little bit better for ourselves.
We were.
So they had this new apartment complex that was adding a second phase. Mm-hmm. So Chaun and I said, girl, we want to be the first to move in those apartments, girl, over there. We want to move up like the Jefferson.
With the fresh paint and the fresh everything.
Yes, girl. With the people had, and we thought we couldn't do better, girl. They had the washer and dryer in unit. 2 bedrooms, girl. You
2
know.
bathrooms. Did it 2 bathrooms?
Yeah, we had our own bathrooms.
2 bathrooms, girl. It was, girl.
We had our own bathrooms.
We said yes.
So we move over there, right? So we get ourselves situated, we move over there. Then Chaun says, well, you know, I've let that thing over at the police department in the other town go. Mm-hmm. Girl, I done sued them, I done got a fat check. Mm-hmm. You know, so now Chaun is in the job market. Yep. So then what happened, Mark?
So then I said, well, wait a minute. This is where your networking skills come into play.
That's what you call it?
This is where you should utilize because they say your network is your net worth, meaning that when you connect yourselves or when you utilize your network, you could find yourself coming across opportunities that you may otherwise not have gotten. So I knew this guy. Okay,
how you know him, girl?
So I knew this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he worked at this call center in the area that a lot of people kind of work for.
Uh-huh.
And he said, yeah, they're looking for supervisors. Really?
How did you know the man, girl?
I mean, I might have dated them for 5 minutes. And
right.
So
that was your ex. Because you skated.
I mean, if we got to really put it all out there. So it was my ex-boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
Who I had spent the better part of 4 years with.
Okay.
A long time ago.
Uh-huh.
And so I said, hey.
But y'all was still friends.
We were still cool.
Okay.
Yeah, we were still cool.
Okay.
I had, jumped on the other side of the fence, so I was not interested in him at all. And so I said, hey, is there anything going on at the place where you are a manager at?
Mm-hmm.
He said, yes, they're looking for a supervisor. I said, fantastic. So I applied and I interviewed and I got the job.
Wouldn't you know what a word of mouth or reference would do?
What would a reference do?
What would a reference do, girl?
So I got me a good little job, good little managerial position where I had about 30 people reporting to me and all of the things. I said, girl, yes, come on, let's do this. And it was
come home with a good check.
Come home with a good check. And it was convenient because it was like 5 minutes around the corner from our new apartment. Very easy to get to. Mm-hmm. So then I said, well, wait a minute. If you got me one, well, surely.
Wait a minute now.
They're still looking for another supervisor, another manager. Well, surely I happen to know somebody that might be in the works of looking for something else.
Girl, he said, no, I got you on. Okay. Don't push your luck. Ain't that the game show?
Right, press your luck.
Yeah, don't press your luck.
I said.
He said, I got you on. This ain't community concern. This ain't community concern. So I'm not gonna do the same for her. So one day, listen, best friends. So one day, now Chaun had a car, but I don't know why. Maybe we had went to lunch or something. Mm-hmm. I came up to your job.
You did. You came up to my job.
So I had either dropped you off something to eat or was taking you to lunch or what have you, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm getting ready to pull out of the parking lot. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, car go, beep, beep. I wish I had some glasses. I looked over the glasses. Beautiful summer day. Car said, beep, beep. I look over, I said, and I said, I look. She said, I said, huh? Roll your window down. So I rolled the window down. It's the girlfriend. It's the girlfriend, the then girlfriend of Chaun's ex-boyfriend. Mm-hmm. They married now. I'm married now.
Yeah, they married now. But then
she was the girlfriend. She was pregnant at the time. Mm-hmm. She said, I got a question for you. I said, Now she's sitting there. She done just left Walmart, girl. She's sitting there eating donuts. Her and the baby that's baking, girl. They sitting there eating donuts. So she, eating her donuts or whatever. She said, how do you feel about their friendship?
Girl, what?
I said, girl, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold you up. I don't like it. She said, neither do I. So me and her carries on. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because at this point, we become what's called allies. Neither of us like it, okay? We don't like the friendship.
Girl.
So we exchange how we felt about the friendship. I told her have a good day and I go on, right? Now, later that week, now, we young, we do what young people do. We hang out with friends, okay? Later that week, one of our friends that Chaun and I was both cool with says, well, girl, I ain't got no man. I'm in the house with me and my kids. If y'all ain't doing nothing, come over to the house Friday night when everybody get off work. we can sit around, we can, order some food, hang out, watch TV, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell Chaun, I said, well, Chaun, I just bought me a new car.
Mm-hmm.
My car hadn't been but maybe about a week or two old.
Mm-hmm.
I just bought me a brand new Nissan Maxima, black car, black leather seats, fully loaded, girl, real, everything, Bose sound system. This was the car back then.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, I had just bought my whip. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I tell Chaun, I said, well, you drive your car when we go over there, because she stayed in the project.
She played it. She lived in a more questionable area.
She stayed in the project. So I said, Chaun, when we
did I still have the bucket, or did I have something? Or did I get my other car by then?
No, you still had the bucket.
I still had the bucket? Okay.
So we rode over there. Remember, we rode over there in the bucket.
In the bucket, yeah.
We rode over there in the bucket. That's what Chaun's car was.
Mm-hmm.
We left mine parked at the apartment.
Securely parked.
Mm-hmm. Alarm system on and everything.
Mm-hmm.
We go over there, hang out with friends. Now it's like closer to midnight. We come back home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm driving. Chaun is in the passenger seat. She done fell asleep at this point.
Like I always do. I'm like a baby in the car.
We pull up to the house. Then what happened?
So I'm asleep like this in the passenger seat, like I always do.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden I hear, Chaun, what is you startling me up like this for? What is going on?
Mm-hmm.
Look at my car.
What's the
my car? Okay, y'all fill in the blank. I said, go what? I'm trying to get myself, grabbing myself. I look over at her car that she's had for probably a week, if that.
Mm-hmm.
The whole back windshield is busted out of her car. I said, no. She was like, what is going on with my car? I said, oh my God. Like, what do we do? Like, do we call the police? Like, what do we do? I don't know. What do we do? I'm frantic. I'm in a frenzy. So she parks my car. She jumps out. She runs over to her car. She looking at it, shining the light in it, trying to figure out what's going on.
Glass all over the back seat.
Glass all over the back seat. I said, oh my gosh. Then she sees something off in the distance.
What did I see, Myrtle?
I said, this has got to be a joke. This can't be. This
What
can't
did
be
I
real
see?
life.
What did I see further down there in the parking lot? Who was down there in the parking lot?
Further down in the parking lot was Ashley.
It's the ventriloquist! The ventriloquist was standing at the other end of the parking lot,
Talking
2
to
buildings
somebody.
down, talking to some dudes.
Why are you at the scene of the crime? I don't understand. Why are you here?
Why are you in my apartment complex to even begin with?
This one.
We done moved.
This was I swear to God, you don't go down there and talk to this girl. I said, wait, stop. Stop. Everybody stop. Everybody gather.
Now, best friends, it's about midnight. It's about midnight. It's like July, August. It's hot outside. It's hot outside. I'm walking down the parking lot in the middle of the street. I'm walking down the parking lot charging at her. Like a linebacker coming through the whatever, however y'all do it in football. Chaun is holding me from behind, trying to drag me back.
I'm like, no, stop, please stop. I said,
Baby, listen, huh?
Please let me go down here and figure out.
Go down here and say what to who? My windows is busted out of my car. My car is brand new. I ain't even took my car back home to stunt yet. That's when we used to ride around and get it. You see what I'm saying? We used to stunt a little bit back at home. You know.
So I get this one to calm down, a teaspoon. All right, she like, you better go get her. I said, okay, let me go down.
You was taking too long. I had to come down there and get you.
So I
had to go come get her, and then I had to come down there and get you.
So I walked down there and I'm like, dude, like, did you have anything to do with her windshield getting busted out? Like, what did you see? Like, what's going on? She like, then she jumps hard in my face because she in front of some dudes. Man, I got nothing to do with that girl car. Like, why you? Okay, stop.
Whoa!
Flag on the play.
Oh!
do that. She ain't got nothing to do with her car. Da, 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 da. I just got here, all this stuff. I said,
She like, I just got off the highway myself.
I said, okay, all right. I said, you know, I asked the little guys, y'all see anything? No, we ain't see nothing. Okay. So then it was funny, it was ironic because one of her good friends also lived in that apartment complex. Remember?
Who?
Khadijah.
I don't know her.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
She know me? I don't know her.
No, not Khadijah, Kamisha. Remember Kamisha lived over there.
Big Woody Judy was cool with her?
Yes.
I knew they knew each other, but I didn't know they was cool.
They were tight, yeah.
They was cool back then?
Yes. Like since they were younger.
I knew they knew each other.
No, they were like
But I didn't know that they was friends.
Yeah, almost like they grew up together, almost like.
Girl, small town stuff, girl. That's
small town. So one of her friends, and I don't have one of her friends, like, you know, so I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. The next day I called the leasing office, like, you know, this is what happened, so on and so forth. But when I tell you this could not have been the worst timing in the world, like how and why are you here when this is happening? To this day, Candy.
Girl, listen, to this day, can't nobody tell me
to do with your car.
Now,
she didn't even know what your car looked like.
Because I had just got it.
Right.
I had traded in my old car and got that car.
Yeah.
I will say this. Only reason why I feel like she might not have had nothing to do with it was because, remember we talked to Friend, and Friend said that she knew some kids that was vandalizing people's cars, and that my car was one of like 6 that had got damaged that weekend.
Yeah, and that's what the leasing office said too. Yeah.
Either way it go, I wanted to lay into her since we was on the Peoria Bridge. So even if I can't find you on this particular infraction, because we can't roll back that beautiful being footage to see who busted out my car window, I still got enough plausible evidence to snatch a hole in your butt for how you acted on the Peoria Bridge. Where?
But needless to say, best friends, that was the last and final time that I ever saw Ashley.
That was the last and final time anybody seen Ashley. Busting my windows out again and see what happened. See you tomorrow.